Hello, everyone. Very good morning to you, or should I say afternoon. Uh, my name is Kemi Tomide Johnson. I'm happy to join you this morning at this conference, the Court of Women, Africa. Thank you so much for the privilege. Thanks to the organizers for giving me this opportunity to be part of this great event. To participate and hear my voice on the topic titled Women Abuse, the Odds and the Gains. Once again, my name is Kemi Tomide Johnson. I am the leading head of Climate Relationship Support Network with a vision to help couples and individuals in relationship to build strong and sustainable relationship. So needless to say, the reason why we have to discuss this topic, women abuse, the odds, perhaps, if there were gains. Looking at the news lately, women abuse is something that we all see. We see it on the telly, we see it on newspapers. Everywhere we turn, we cannot deny the fact that we have women being abused all around us. We can hardly talk about men-women relationship without mentioning abuse. Be it in politics, in corporate organizations, even in the family units. Women abuse comes in all shades of colors. Some are aggressive, some are minor, some physical, some are just emotional, psychological, and it's not just restricted to a sect of people only. It happens in all socio-economic, with people from different educational background and social background. Among every culture, we have women being abused on a daily basis. Even the girl child as well being abused. Many average supposed normal family are living what people see as normal life. But behind what we see, there's a lot going on behind people's homes. In the secrets of people's home, in the privacy of their sitting room, there's abuse everywhere. Some people are not even bold enough to talk about it. Why some people see it and just cover it up altogether? Abuse is not often physical. And just because someone does not show a physical sign of abuse does not mean they are not abused as well. Many women and children are abused, but yet they are still smiling. Why? Because some of them think they deserve being abused. Some of them think their perpetrators have the right. The perpetrators, have the right to abuse them. The society has conditioned many women to think they are right to be abused. Women abuse is use of psychological, physical, mental, or sexual force. Sometimes it could be a actual threat. It could be an actual event or sometimes threat. This mostly happen in intimate relationship, especially relationships between husband and wife, sometimes among heirs. Sometimes it could be a relationship with boyfriend and girlfriend. Sometimes with work colleague. But what is undeniable is women abuse has hidden very deep into every fabric of our society. Violence is being used to intimidate, humiliate, and even frighten women and our girl child to make them feel powerless. Abuse against women occurs in families all around us. Although abuse may be argued to vary from degree to degree, but no form of abuse is worse than the other. Non-physical form of abuse are as harmful to women as the non-physical. Many women who identify with emotional abuse often say that they find the effect much more deeper than the physical one. With physical one, perhaps people get to sympathize. But with psychological abuse and emotional abuse that often go unnoticed, many women suffer just in silence. The women walking about with very low self-esteem, uncontrolled temper. We see women walking around, they snap at every bit of hunger, at every bit of provocation. Women having memory loss. Depression is another thing. Eating disorder. You see women just getting fatter and fatter every day without control. Disassociation. They cannot socialize. They cannot mingle with their fellows. Obsessive compulsive disorder is another thing. OCD, as many people know it to be. They work tirelessly. They just bury themselves in the house, doing stuff over and over again, just because they are hiding away from the outside world, from knowing that they are being oppressed in the home. Some even think so badly that they think of taking their own life. Suicidal thoughts. Many of this is happening to our women, even to the girl child, as a result of them being abused. Many children who witness abuse often grow up themselves to be a dysfunctional adult, unable to form another relationship that they can sustain to build love and have a loving life, even to pass on to their own children. Why? Because they've never grown to love, and so you see them marry, but they cannot stay in marriage. So thereby repeating the cycle again, broken relationship. Some children blame themselves for their parents' mishap. Some will even tell you, it's my fault that daddy beats mommy. But is it truly? Many children are just there. They cannot even tell you what they are going through. Some of them are dropped out of school, all because there is no joy at home. And when we speak of abuse in general, we may be often tempted to think that it's only women that are being abused. No, far from it. Men do get abused as well. And as a matter of fact, a lot of men do get abused. But sometimes we haven't seen these things go away because many men don't often talk about it. They don't talk about it because they feel it's a shame for them to be associated with abuse. However, from statistics and research, it is adequately proven that it is more likely for a woman to be abused than men. Hence, we are focusing on this, more on our women abuse and how we can help our next generation of women to migrate themselves away from this form of abuse. When we look at it all around, we will see that this abuse varies from class to class. We've seen women who equally, bully their fellow women. We've seen them. We see them in our society. These are also another form of abuse. Women who never have any good thing going for them, and they see no reason why another woman should have what they think they don't have. Their fellow have a happy marriage. They go after them to hunt them. Have a good career. They go around them to huckle them down. What they don't have, they don't want any other person to have. The once upon a time, the strong and influential great woman of Yoruba Empire, the Iyalode of Ibadan, is a one typical example in this regards. Who got so many slaves, female slaves, but treated them as goats. She treated them as goats and treated them at will. She even had some killed. Looking at her story, it is true that many of our women today who want to disassociate themselves and frankly frown at what Efun Shetan did in our time. But what are we saying? Is there not many of us doing the same today? Are there not women, great women in the society that are doing the same? They are having female, child girl as slaves in their house, feeding them on food that is barely fit for dog, on food that are barely fit for the dog. We have lots of women in the society today, exploiting our young ladies for prostitution just to enrich themselves. There's a lot of women. They instigate people's divorce, taking themselves as mistresses to displace women from their home just because they can do better. Now, you tell me, if we are saying that we can free ourselves from men, from being abused by men, how can we actually free ourselves from our fellow women? This is something I want us to really think about today. It's a serious food for thought for us all, especially if we are considering building a new generation of formidable women who will lead the next generation of families and our society to be great and free of violence and abuse. I mean, we train our girl child. They have degree. We spend so much money, millions, especially in Africa where education is no luxury, is more like a luxury. We send them to school to be better than, sometimes more than their male counterparts. Yet, we give them away in marriage with the ultimate responsibility to remain in the kitchen and other rooms without educating our boys. Without educating our boys that they too can cook and help our women to become, especially to be able and enable them to empower their family. A woman who didn't cook just because she spent the whole day at work is more likely to be beating her husband for not cooking. And when the get busted, they will summon the man, call a family meeting, a mushroom family meeting, and even ask this woman to apologize to this man, even amidst her tears, even when it's obvious that the man can hardly feed his family with what he's selling. This is the serious abuse going on in our society, something we all have to say no to. No wonder so many women are dropping out. So many career-minded women, highly qualified women in our society, they are dropping out of their profession, all because they are not allowed to maximize their potential. No wonder career-minded women are dropping out of their marriage in a bid to face their dreams alone. It is becoming increasingly difficult for a woman to be married and succeed excellently in a chosen field. Men need women to succeed. But is that not true of women too? Some women couldn't face the humiliation of you are a single mother. Some of them are simply forced to forget about their dreams and vision altogether. We have so many women talents that are sitting at home as full-time moms, out of no choice, in a bid to please their husband and the society. Tell me, how are we going to build a generation that are worthy of progressive society? You tell me. When we have so many women, so many builders, so many anchors, sitting just idle, doing nothing, all because the society thinks is the man that is conditioned to work and the ultimate provider. Many crimes against women haven't gone unpunished because in the society, women are regarded as the second-class citizen, and the society has no interest whatsoever in dealing with issues that affects them. Whenever an issue of abuse is identified, although the government, the media, churches, mosques, and even human rights activists, all the NGOs, they will come together. They will condemn all these acts. But on the ground, the vendors, the citizens, the neighbors, they will team up. They will tend to justify the man for abusing this woman, claiming that women need to be taught a lesson. And in some cases, they will back them up by religious beliefs and codes. We have no regard for women. A woman that has been denied by her husband is more likely to be blamed for disrespecting him. When a woman got raped, when she goes to the police station to report it, she's most likely to be asked the question, are you married to him? And that is if at all there's anything even called rape in marriage. Many women are still suffering abuse because they solely depend on their husband to provide. Many men often escape justice because the wife has no one to turn to. The idea that women and children can be owned is the reason why many women and children are still abused by men. From where I come from, property are listed as follows: wives, children, houses, cars, and the list goes on. Needless to say, why some women are still taken in by their, husband relative after death, inherited as a wife, because they are deemed as a property that has to be passed on. The Women Equality Bill, aimed at stopping this practice in Nigeria, for instance, was thrown out before its second hearing because the legislators agreed on religion ground that our women deserve not to be treated otherwise. What a joke. In this modern age, when our counterparts around the world are busy leading the world, they are ruling, we cannot even have a voice in our homes. Anything that makes a woman talk or hear a view whatsoever, even when it does matters, is considered as a dishonor to man. Man's need for supremacy has taught him that all women of intelligence are threats, irrespective of their values and behavior. It does not matter how humble a woman is. If she challenges her husband, if she does say anything in the society, she's considered as being rebellious. Culture and religion has taught him that at all costs, his egos must be protected. Patriarchy has taught him that his masculinity has to be proved by willingness to conquer fear through aggression. They intimidate women. They pull them down. They treat our girl child as if they are second citizens, second to men. That it will be unmanly to ask a question before taking any action. No consultation whatsoever. This is what I want done. And that is what you have to do. It does not matter what the woman think or what capacity she's got. Even if she's the CEO in her office, controlling many and people working for him, and she's having an empire. Mass media, the TV, the newspaper, cartoonists, they still put all these things forward, more like a joke to us. It's more like watching a Nollywood movie that's never ending. They celebrate men. For the first time in the past days, I get to hear about women being reduced to locker room talk. This is what the world has reduced the once upon a time beautiful and perfect creation of God called women into. I mean, what kind of a man claims they have superior knowledge over their wife? I don't get it. I mean, in male-controlled culture, men are especially inclined to see love as something they should receive without expending effort. More often than not, they do not want to do work that love demands. So it does not matter whether the woman, let her kill herself. They don't want to love, but they want to receive love. And they want to reap the fruit of love. How possible? And when you talk, they bring the Bible out. They bring the Quran. Where are we going? What religion teaches violence? What religion teaches oppression? These are my questions, and I hope I will get an answer soon. Women are often belittled for trying to resurrect these men and bring them back to life, to love. No one can rightfully claim to be loving when betraying abusively. I don't see any form of abuse as an evidence of love. Let me tell you this. Perhaps you don't know. Families make communities. Communities build societies. Societies build a nation. Nations is worlds we live in. No nation can develop without the participation of each and every of its elder citizens. We are not saying women shouldn't cook. No, far from it. I cook. We are not saying women should not take care of their children and family as the nurturer that God has made them to be. But what we are saying is, we can cook. We can do others. Everything God has created a woman to do, we can do perfectly if we are allowed to do it in love and with respect. The best chefs I know in the world are male chefs, brought up by women. So, I think teamwork works better from the viewpoint of love. If we must have shared responsibility, should it have to be limited to you have to? You have to do this. You have to do that. Then where comes the unity we are talking about, the oneness we are talking about in our society? How can we achieve that rightful progression? And until men stop looking down on women and start looking at them as their partner of possibilities, we may not be able to stop the fast-moving train of women leadership. If you are ever going to be a full-time homemaker, if you are ever going to be a full-time wife, if you are ever going to ditch your career for a man, please, my fellow women, make it your own choice. Not because anyone asks you to do. Let it be your choice. Now, you asked me, what are the benefits of abuse? When I was given this topic, I was thrown aback. I laughed within me. Could there ever be any benefit to women being abused? I said to myself, no benefit can come from abusing women. Absolutely nothing. It is a misnomer situation. However, necessity is the mother of invention. The horrific pattern of abuse has led to a new wave of women rebellion against their abusers. And we have a lot of women evolving, strong women who can now make very good and tough decisions. They run homes, they send their children through school and control their universe. Women who have suddenly become independent, doing more or less what men can't do. Women who has now become leaders, even leading men and leading the entire world. Outside, that such a positive development has come out of a very bad situation. If only the society will recognize women for their talents, their skills, their wisdom, and not just their culinary skills or sexual prowess. If men will recognize the unity in oneness and the true essence of why females are made for the world, and free them of abuse, and allow them to flourish, starting from the family setting, starting from your daughters, starting from your wife, starting from your mothers. Peradventure, our world will be more livable and more productive than what we are witnessing now. However, this afternoon now, the big takeaway today for me is that once we have learned how something has served us, we can also learn to let it go. We have seen so much of abuse. We have seen it brings no gain. It is time to let go. Let's now be very clear. Recognizing the benefits of something negative isn't saying it's okay that it should happen to you or any woman for that matter. No, it's not okay. The harm that women abuse is costing our families and society is way too painful to recount. I mean, women are dying every day. Our girl child. I mean, look at the Boko Haram, the girls that just came back. Look at so many household helps all around. Their future ambition being abolished just like that. The list goes on and on. Many women who are now diseased, dead, out of abuse. Is the disadvantage just outweighs the advantage. The harm, we shouldn't just close our eyes and think that things should go on like that. What we are saying in essence is, it is not okay that you should let abuse wreck your life. Peradventure, you're going through one. No one deserves to be abused. No. Not a woman. Not a child. Not even a man. No human should have to suffer any form of abuse. And that at any given time, we have the power to say, this is not how my story is going to end. It's not over until it is over. And I'll say, to all you, my listener, my fellow women, we need to change our family. We need to protect our women, the girls, and nurture our young men to respect our girls. Charity, they say, begins from home. I mean, nobody chose to be a woman or man when we were born. Neither one is superior to the other. To my fellow women, especially the young women among us, I would say, do not let the society put you in a box. Rather, aspire, work hard, and chase your dreams with passion and commitment to succeed. Do not let anyone or anything, even your gender, to limit you. Be consistently consistent in what is true to you. Follow your dreams. And let nothing stop you. Learn truly to communicate. Communicate with your family. Sorry guys. Hello? Sorry. I got a call coming through, that's why I had to break a little bit. It is what we do that matters. What I'm saying in essence is, don't let anyone limit you. Don't let the society put you in a box. Strive hard. Be who you want to be. And raise your children and the society that you belong to with one that is free of abuse. Michael J. Fox once said, one's dignity may be assaulted, vandalized, and cruelly mocked, but it can never be taken away unless it is surrendered. And I put it up to you, women. Are you going to surrender your womanhood? I wouldn't. I hope you wouldn't do the same. To this end, I would like to say a very massive thank you to all the men that have been a constant support and pillar of their wives. For their continued support, I say a massive kudos. Please, keep up the good work. You are the true builders of the society. And I pray the Lord God will continue to empower you. And to every man that is listening to me, please, do whatever it takes to love and support the progress of your wife. One that is free of abuse, that we may be able to build a progressive society. I say once again, congratulations to the organizers of this event. Sorry for the slight break at the end. I was trying to attend to some phone calls in between from the conference as well. I say thank you very much. Congratulations to you once again. And to my husband of his inestimable value, Tommy D, that's what I call him. I say thank you so much for your unwavering love and support. Without you, I would not be able to be here. Thank you so much. May the good Lord keep us all and give us the grace to build a society one that is free of violence and abuse. Thank you. Till we meet again, it's Kemi saying bye. Thanks.